Hello and welcome to day 4 of the Scenic Adventure Class to Go. This is the final card in the Class to Go kit that you can earn for free. All you need to do to earn the Class to Go for free is place an order in my online store that is minimum of $50. There are additional prizes and rewards for orders at $100 and $150. Make sure you check out the video description for all the details on how to get the Class to Go for free. I'm featuring the Scenic Adventure bundle. This is such a gorgeous bundle that's in my online store. You will need the stamps and dies to complete the cards. I will not do any of the die cutting that coordinates with this bundle. All right, you guys, let's jump into the card today because it is stunning, but let's do a quick recap over what we did. So this was Monday's card, Tuesday's, Wednesday's, and today's card. If you loved these cards, just wait. Today's card is gorgeous. So we have a trifold card. Now this one's probably going to take us a few minutes to make, so I want to jump into it right away. And I've done all the stamping and all the die cutting ahead, but let me show you how this card opens. So it goes like this. Isn't that stunning? So we are making a full scene with this like trifold card. They're all at different levels. So beautiful. So I cannot wait to share with you how to make this card. I love this little fire. It's so cute. So let's jump into the card. There are a lot of pieces for the card. You'll get all the pieces to do your die cutting, so don't worry about that, but let me show you all the pieces that we're using. So you have a shaded spruce piece that you're going to die cut your trees. You have a piece of granny apple green that you're going to die cut your little shrubbery or bushes. You have 2 pieces of lemon lime twist that are the exact same size, and you will want to die cut these at the same time because you want the exact same trees because they're going to sandwich the card front and they need to line up perfectly. So you're going to want 2 of those and you need to run them through at the exact same time so you get the exact same cuts, okay? Now the same is true for your Smoky Slate piece. You're going to have 2 of those. You're going to run them through at the exact same time so that you have that same shape, the exact same places. Okay, hope that makes sense. All right, and then you have another piece of shaded spruce. You're just going to have one of these. You're going to die cut the mountain border into. And let me move some of these out of the way. You have a piece of Pool Party two-toned cardstock. So one side is darker than the other side. This will come all scored. This is going to be your card base. You have a full piece of a quarter sheet of shaded spruce. This one is 5.5 by 4.25. Now this piece of shaded spruce is going to be smaller. This one is going to be 4 by 5.25. So just make sure that when you're die cutting them, you are die cutting the smaller of the 2 shaded spruce pieces, okay? So that is important to point out. So, and then you have some more pieces. This is going to be a lot of pieces on this card, but I told you it's worth it. All right, so there's a Pool Party piece. You're going to stamp that water, tone on tone, Pool Party ink on Pool Party cardstock. That one doesn't get die cut. You have another white piece that you're going to die cut those flowers the exact same way we did on Monday's card. And I colored them with shaded spruce blends and strawberry slush blends. And then you have pieces of white for your greeting. So you'll stamp your greetings in those. And then you get these little tiny pieces out. You will have a little piece of each of pecan pie, Cajun Craze, and crushed curry, and this will be for your fire. And we're actually going to assemble the fire piece first so that it has time to really set up. So that's all the die cutting pieces. So if you just want to do all the die cutting, do that all at once, get it out of the way. That's a nice plan. All right, so we are going to cut out this like center flame in this crushed curry fire piece. All right, there we go. Cut that little tiny piece out. This is a little bit finicky. If you don't like to work with tiny little things, you can absolutely leave the little fire out. But I thought this die was just too cute. So I thought this would be a great... Oh, I just sprayed glue everywhere. Ah! If you watched yesterday's glue adventure, you'll know why. All right. I should have got a different glue out between videos, but I didn't. I was lazy. Okay, so I put a little bit of glue on that Cajun Craze flame, and we're just going to put the crushed curry one right over it. This is going to give us time for this to set up and dry. And we'll put a little dab of glue on the logs, and then we'll set the fire on top of that. And this will This will set up and dry, and so by the time we're ready to use it, it'll be ready to go. So cute. A little fire is so cute. I just want to make little tiny marshmallows on sticks. Wouldn't that be an adorable little card? So cute. It's a card for another day. Okay, let's start with the front panel of our card. So I'm going to pull out that pool party piece, and it's going to fold this way. It's going to make a Z. So make sure that when you are assembling this, you have it folded the correct way. So we're going to do some trimming on this, and you want it to make sure that it's folded in the correct way. So this actually will go this way. The opening on the front is going to be on the right side. You'll have a score line, and the back on the left side. So it opens like this. All right, we are going to measure our trees. Now, I can't give you a solid measurement because you may die cut your trees a little higher, a little lower than mine. So I'm not going to give you a full solid measurement. So instead, you're just going to take your die cut trees. Now they're the same width of the card. The card is 4. So we're just going to take the trees, and I'm going to take a pencil, and we're just going to mark where a little bit below the tree line. So about there is where we're going to mark. So I hope you can see that little mark there. So I just kind of held my my trees up just like that. And so we are going to, that's where we know we're going to cut. So I'm going to grab my paper trimmer, and we are going to put our card in here. Now we're cutting this front panel here. So I'm going to make sure that my little mark is right in the center of my blade here, in my gutter. And I'm going to just cut straight across, just like that. Now we need to take off this part. We only want to keep the bottom part. So I'm going to put this back in my paper trimmer, just right on the score line. And we are just going to cut that off, just like that. So this is going to be your first panel. Now, before we start adhering anything down, now you can save this piece. This is a good piece. You can do side cutting or whatever out of that. Before we get to our gluing anything down, we're going to do the exact same thing with our mountains, because we're going to trim our mountains now. So we're going to figure out how we want our mountains on here. I'm going to take my pencil, and we're just going to mark where to trim that. And we're going to do the exact same thing on this side. So I'm going to line this up in my paper trimmer. I'm going to make sure that little mark that I did is right in the groove of my, I don't know if you can see, I think I'm off camera. It's right in the groove of my paper trimmer there. And so I will cut that. Now none of this is like super exact. If you're a little bit off, you can always trim more. It's okay. You don't have to worry about that. And then we'll put this score line up here. We're only keeping the bottom part. And you're going to cut that piece off. Again, you can save this piece for some die cutting or stamping, whatever you want. So this is what you should be left with, kind of like a stair step. Now everybody's maybe a little bit different. Again, it just depends on how high you die cut some of those pieces. All right, I'm going to come in with my scissors where I didn't cut it so cleanly and just trim that. A lot of that's going to be hidden, so I'm not too worried about making sure it's exact. You don't have to worry about the pencil lines. They're all going to be hidden. All right, so let's start with our tree layer. We're going to start with the front. And again, you want to make sure that they are going to line up perfectly, just like this. So I'm going to take some adhesive, and I'm going to put some adhesive on the front of this piece. And remember, this is going to fold up like this. So this will be the front. And so when it's open like this, I'm going to take one of my tree pieces, and we're just going to adhere that down. Just right up against the score line. And then all the way over. Right, now I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to put some adhesive on the back of this piece now. And I am actually going to come in and just do a few dots, hopefully, with my glue, because I want the trees to be stuck together. I want it to be like it's one piece. So I'm just doing a few little dots of glue. Now you could also die cut these on adhesive sheets, and then you wouldn't have to worry about any other adhesive. So I'm going to adhere this down. Make sure that your trees are lining up. So I'm going to adhere this down. Making sure that my trees are all lined up. I'm more worried about the trees lining up than the bottom of the card. I can trim off anything if it doesn't line up on the bottom, but I want the trees to make sure to line up. All right, so that is your first layer. Beautiful, right? Can you see how this is going to come together gorgeously? Okay, so we have both of our mountains here. So we're going to do the same thing. Now, I do want to kind of test this because this is going to go in the middle. And so if it's hanging off just a little bit, you see that the Smoky Slate piece is just going to be a hair too long because of this. I'm actually going to trim that now because, and I'm going to do that to both of them so that they're the same. And I'm going to trim it off of this side. But I'm just going to trim off like a hair because we don't want anything hanging over. So you can see I didn't trim off very much. And this is really optional. I mean, this is getting pretty picky. You definitely don't need to do this. All right, but we're going to do it the exact same way. I'm going to put adhesive. This time I'm putting it on my mountain, but you could put it on your card base too. I'm going to put it on my mountain. And let's open this up. This is going to go in that center panel, so it's going to go up between the two score lines and then flush with the bottom. You don't want to put it over the score lines. You just want them to fit like snugly right between the score lines. Okay, so let's flip it over. And we'll put some adhesive all over this piece. And then we're just going to line up that mountain again. I'm more concerned with the mountain being lined up than the bottom of the card. So just line that up. And then pieces should fall right into place. Okay, let's show you where we're at now. So beautiful, right? This card just makes me so happy. All right, now we have that die cut shaded spruce piece. Now there's a lot of die cutting on this card, but I think it ends up being worth it because it's so beautiful in the end. Now this is not a card that maybe you want to make 400 of. Oops, I ran out. Let's switch adhesives. This is not a card that you're going to want to make, you know, a bunch of, but to somebody who's really going to appreciate it, this would be a great card to send. Okay, we're going to sit this one on. Again, not overlapping the score line, just right up next to it. And this one, we don't have to worry about backing it with another one. So we can just set that down. Now, if you have anything hanging off, you can die cut that. It is going on to a shaded spruce base, so you're never going to see it if it's hanging off a little bit. So I'm not even going to worry about that. Okay, so let's make sure everything folds up nicely. If you need to grab your bone folder and just give that a good burnish to make sure everything is laying flat, you can. This is basically your card though. Now we're just gonna really embellish it even more. So let's work on the front. Let me bring in the finished card so we know what we're doing. So we have our flowers, we have our water. So we're gonna adhere this the same way we did on day one. Just gonna put a line of adhesive across the top, and then we'll just adhere our flowers to the water. Just like that. This is hanging over just a little bit, so I'm just gonna give this a quick little trim. Just like that, perfect. And this will go directly onto our card base, right on the front. Okay. So this will go all the way down at the bottom. We want the water flowing across the bottom. Beautiful, right? All right, let's grab our greeting piece. This one says, "Can't wait to see you again," and some dimensionals. So I'm actually let me cut some in half here because they're a little bit, they're gonna be close to too big if I put them on a whole. So just gonna put a few on there. I'm off camera, there we go. And this is gonna go right across our little water border, just like this. And it's the same length, it's the 4-inch length. Beautiful, right? Oh my gosh, just like this, stunning. Okay, let's open it up so we can see what we're doing on the inside. I'm not sure I'm gonna get both of these on at once. So on our mountain one, we are going to adhere our shrub and our tree. So we'll go ahead and do that. I'm gonna move this one out of the way. This will stand beautifully on anybody's mantle or table or desk. Just like, I mean, think of it like just sitting there like this, just displayed so beautifully. All right, the tree is gonna go down flat. You can put adhesive sheets on the back of this. You can try your chances with liquid glue. Normally I don't have a lot of trouble with liquid glue, but this liquid glue is giving me quite a bit of trouble this week, so. But you guys understand, I know. I know card makers understand. So our tree is gonna go right against the bottom, just like that. Beautiful. Oh, I just love this card. All right, now on that final back panel, we're gonna hear a little fire and then we'll work on our greeting. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of adhesive on the back of our little fire piece and then just kind of right next to those trees. Okay, let me bring in the card over here so we kind of see what we're doing. So for the greeting, you'll have the arch die cut in your kit. This is gonna go down flat as long as we have the glue out. Just adhere that down flat. That's going to go right up against the edge, just like that. And I'm going to put my glue away. Our greeting piece here, I'm just going to cut this at an angle, just like that. If you need to trim off the edge of this, you can as well. Then we're just going to put dimensionals on the inside of this. Again, I'll cut one in half, just use those half pieces. And we're just going to pop this up right on top of that arch. Cheers to another adventure. Really pretty, right? So cute. Okay, let's adhere this down to our card base and then we'll add our embellishments. So this is ready to go onto our whole card base. So I'm just going to put some adhesive on the back of this. Perfect. And this goes onto that 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch piece of shaded spruce, just like that. Okay, now we're going to open this up. We're going to put our embellishments on the inside, and for this one we're going to use the darkest green, like the shaded spruce green. It's going to go so well, and we're just going to put a few right around the greeting here. Just put one up there. Perfect. All right, that is it for day 4. What do you guys think? Do you guys love this card? I just love this card. It is so stunning, so beautiful. I think that you could really do a lot with this. Anybody would love to get this card, I think. So beautiful, right? Folds up so nicely. And then when somebody gets it, it expands so nicely. Now, if you don't want to write your message on any of this to get in the way, you could always write a smaller message here, or you can put a layer of white and write something on the back as well. So pretty, right? I love it. I could play with it all day. It is so pretty. Okay, so if you want to get the class to go for free, you have until June 30th to place your order. You will get supplies for all 4 cards. You'll get this one. You will get the cards from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and of course Thursday. So you'll get all 4 cards, supplies for all 4 cards in your mailbox, ready to go. You can refer back to these videos to create your cards. If you have any questions, please let me know. Your order in my online store does need to be a minimum of $50 to get the class to go for free. Make sure to subscribe to my channel so that you never miss another video. I'll have some cute videos coming up, so you definitely don't want to miss those. Make sure you have hit that subscribe button. And I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.